Tragedy struck Uluoke community in Etsako, West LGA of Edo State as suspected herdsmen killed a man, Mr. Friday, Pius, and abducted his pregnant wife and her sister. The attack occurred around 1 to 2 a.m. while the family was asleep. The couple's 3 children were left behind, found crying beside their father's corpse. The victims were said to have been asleep when the gunmen entered his house, killed him, and kidnapped his family members. The incident sparked a protest by local women who lamented the growing insecurity in the area, including the destruction of farmlands and frequent abductions. They called on government officials and security agencies for urgent intervention. The Edo State Police Command confirmed the attack and said rescue operations are ongoing. When contacted, the Edo State Police Command confirmed the incident. The public relations officer of the command, Moses Yamu, who confirmed the development, said police are on the trail of the kidnappers with a view to rescuing the victims and apprehending the perpetrators. Okay, sir, if we may recall, I don't know if you were familiar with the Romi killing in Edo State at the time it happened, and the 16 hunters, alleged hunters that were caught with notify this that said they were coming from River State to Edo State, that were actually mobbed by the vigilante in Edo State. We saw the incident, how the Kano government has actually taken it, even down to the presidency. You know, most of the Northerners have reacted to the incident saying they will not lie low and watch their brothers being taken away like that in that kind of situation. And now back to Edo State. Even before this incident, most of the Northerners were saying that they will retaliate. They will, you know, make sure that justice is being served to their brothers that were taken in that meant. You know, do we say this is an act of retaliation from the Kano citizens?
Well, not necessarily. First and foremost, my heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families, and I think may their soul rest in peace. I would say this case of insecurity in Nigeria is becoming something else, and I keep telling people that everybody, security is a business of everybody. And the issue of herdsmen or cattle raiders invading people's farms and so on and so forth is also unfortunate, especially this era we are talking about food security. I will account it to poor security management. The government has also failed in that aspect of it. Because one thing that is very clear, these cattle raiders or these guys who go around with cattle along the streets are not on their own. They work for people. And don't be surprised that people from this part of the world are part of the owners of those cattle. They don't just, and again, they don't just enter a community without some people in the community knowing. They don't just come that way. But the most important is that they go into the farms, march over people's crops. Imagine economy killing economy. You understand kind of thing? Food, they keep food. So it's really unfortunate. If I will also say, I don't want to begin to whip sentiments.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that the Rome issue, one of my friends was a victim too, I was a guy. Where we discussed, we used to buy a car from him. One young guy, well-read, you know, from LA here, is our friend. When I heard the news, I wanted to call him. They said I was involved in that Uromi incident. Well, it's an incident because of suspicion, because of trust. And sometimes too, nobody can tell exactly what happened that erupted that very decidedly act. It's something that's not proper. And it's a repressive reaction, whether they like it or not.
So are you saying that this is an act of retaliation from the Kano? Because this is an on the statement.
No,
this man that actually
they are protesting that they won't let it go.
Yes,
that's what issue.
And then this issue from this Edo States, this Uluoke, Ulako,
the kidnap and
yes,
so on, the
killing. Yes, this one that
then,
actually happened.
Another issue.
This issue that happened right now
is
from the unknown gunmen that invaded Edo State. We do not know if they are literally from Kano State
or not.
But now, because of certain statements that have been made, considering the 16 hunters that were taken, do we have to think from that angle that this could be an act of retaliation?
No, I don't look at it that way. Imagine the Kanu from Edo and Kanu. Imagine this distance.
Well, why do you not think
I don't think so, but criminality is criminality everywhere. It has been there. Apart from this incident that happened, hasn't there been such in Edo State all this while? There has been kidnapped, there has been corrupt invasion, there has been stealing, there have been murdering. These are cases. These cases are there in Edo State, just like every other state. So it's a mere coincidence that this happened, and some people were angry. They overreached their statements and so on. So if another thing happened, you assume it to them. To me as a person, I don't think it's a reprisal attack or reaction from the Kanu people. No. The people are there. They are the usual criminals. They are usual kidnaps, social miscreants, and so on and so forth. So nobody should attribute. It's weak on the part of the system if you say the people from the Kanu. So they pass all the ways, all the states, and I'm going to your state and did the same thing. Where are you? I don't think it is so. It's the same normal criminal that has not been able to be arrested.
So how did they, at the time when the Urumi killing incident happened, how did they come all the way to River State to hunt? And then going back to
it is like we are in Eastern now. People move. We are in East. A lot of people move from other parts of the country to their even outside the country, their hometown to celebrate with the people. Remember, it happened during the Salah. So they were probably going home. So it's usual. This is Christian festival. Those of us a lot of people from the north can come this way. People from this way can come this way. It's a normal interstate and intercountry continental movement.
Okay.
That is
so
it.
Considering, coming from what statement you've made, that this can be something from those states, it's from the state itself, not citizens from Kano coming to cause mayhem in that state. Do we have to think now that Edo is, it's given a bad name, if I can use that word, like it's sending bad signal about Edo State and the issue of insecurity, aggressive insecurity, if I can say that word, happening in Edo State?
It is not insecurity everywhere. It's not that they don't fail. In a way,
I know. I'm saying this because of this incident. Yes, but just this incident that happened, and then this one is coming up again.
What makes Edo looking bad? No. What is there in your image on whatever that criminality is? Where don't you have criminality? Overseas, everywhere in the world, that happens to you. What about in a common school in developed nations? A little child go to school with gun and begin to shoot people. What do you call it? So I don't think it has nothing to do with Edo, but the government should sit up. The government should sit up. They should interfere. They should collaborate with the local vigilante. Don't look at them as informal security outfit, because before this formal, there have been informal. As I said, questions, why in the time past, criminality was not as common as it is today? Because you look down, you downplay the local security. As a matter of truth, the fight in the north as regard to whatever terrorism or the bomb or whatever I call, the local vigilante is making a wonderful thing because they know the environment too well. So it's only them that can arrest it. And those who commit this crime are living within them. They know them. So what government would do is to encourage them and say how they can synergize with local people and then set up their own security. And our normal African way of doing things, these things will go down. You cannot wipe public security totally, but it can be minimized. Okay. That is the issue. So the government should sit up. Don't look at the police. Don't look at the army. Yes, they are formal, but they are not trained in local vigilante system. They know themselves. If they tell that the forests that they are living the forests are owned by people, so they know how to scope them out. What they need is government encouragement. Okay, how can I be a vigilante? I don't have gun. Okay, we're talking about local, what is it called in River State here? OSPAC. What will you get about with club and knife? When somebody is hiding automatic, having 8 cases, having guns, it's suicidal. The government is the problem. Because even if they see you on the way with ordinary gun, they arrest you for no reason, for arm bearing. So why wouldn't there be security? And these people living within the people. So if you encourage the local people to set up their vigilante, train their vigilante, you encourage them, help them. I can tell you, take it from me, these things will go down. These things will, if it's not 100%, it will go not less than 80%. And we can sleep with our two eyes closed. So that is it.
Because
the government is the problem.
It was actually a bad situation that these family members were actually asleep when this incident occurred, and this unknown gunmen invaded their house and literally took their life in that. So it's not like every other villager will literally live in fear.
What's happening in Benue? What's happening in Branu? What's happening in Plateau? It's like that. People will invade community. And if there is really strong local vigilante authorized by the government, it can't happen. It will not happen. Because your people hold your people. The security, you know your people. Those people too would have known there's a security in place. They won't try it. We'll catch them. Something happened within these hours is here. The people mounted local advantage. They call people, kidnap people in a boot. Where was the police? Where are the soldiers? But the local boys, they caught them. I come from Alo here. At the time that was shooting in Alo, what happened? Alo people arrested it. That was the time what they call them, these militant people that were come to our training center, broke out of the camp. Invaded Alo boys held them down. Police couldn't. One man then was the SOS commander. Our boys held them and stopped them. Before police could come, we have arrested a lot of them. So, assuming you want to fear the police and the security, blah, blah, blah. And then the point, when you catch them, they also want to catch you that you are doing one or another. They compromise as well. Even when you arrest these criminals, the police compromise. I say it in the public glass. They compromise. Calls will come from left, right, and center, and they are released. You cannot let them go to the point of law. And
so, do you think the local vigilante do not compromise when issue like that arrives?
They don't. Because the community will not indict you. Because local vigilante is set up by the permanent ruler and the chiefs, council of chiefs and elders. That is a norm, that is a rule. If you misbehave, we'll fine you. You'll be indicted. The community has to deal with their own people. We have rules before the Western rules came in. We have rules. There are issues. If you misbehave, either we ostracize you, we deny you rights, and stop giving you a lot of things can come around you. We isolate you. And nobody wants to be isolated. Africans cannot live in isolation. This is the truth. So we fear our community than even the so-called government. And community is not ready to compromise. Well, African way of conflict resolution is give and take. Okay, win-win. My friend, why did you do this thing? You explain. They deal with you how according to their own rules here. Okay? So I can't imagine where sometimes government want to intervene because somebody in the government want to come and circumvent the traditional rule. That's the problem we're having here. Criminal. Let the locals handle their thing. Well, I thank God government is trying to do what they call hunters, whatever, something in the borders. They have to use the locals. My interest is that involve the locals in the security, whatever. If you are going to fight your war, conventional war is your business. But when it comes to local security or guide or whatever, involve the locals. They know the areas. They know the terrain too well. That is my interest.
Thank you so much on that.